Good morning Nemo. Trời ơi, sáng hôm nay gặp mưa nữa rồi. Nhưng mà cây trồ thì vẫn tiếp tục hành trình quý vị. Sáng hôm nay sẽ gặp chúng trong vào lúc 9 giờ sáng và 1 giờ rưỡi chiều. Thì không biết xung quanh đây như thế nào, nhưng mà sáng sớm thì ra đây một vòng thấy là trời bắt đầu mưa như vậy. Và chúng em sẽ ở đây chút xíu nữa sẽ chạy qua cái chỗ đó, cách đây khoảng 15 phút là có buổi outside tổng thống speaker. Chúng ta qua đó rồi tới 1 giờ rưỡi thì có một cuộc event inside nữa quý vị. Đấy là sáng sớm của downtown Dimore, quý vị thấy không? Năm mây nó che nguyên cái tháp cái tháp building bên đó luôn rồi kìa. Trời nó hơi lạnh lạnh đấy chứ. Ok quý vị, chuẩn bị cho một ngày mới nữa nha, một hành trình mới nha. Để chúng ta có 3 ngày tại Iowa này cho trọn vẹn cuộc vận động cho tổng thống Trump tại Iowa nha. Chiều hôm qua thì rất là tốt đẹp, trời hôm qua thì nắng mà nóng nữa chứ, hôm nay thì mưa. Để quý vị
stay in the middle 2 lanes. Stay in the middle lane.
đào sao quý vị. Từ đó hả?
At the light, turn left onto 10th Street, then turn left onto Locust Street. At the light, turn left onto Locust Street. Then the destination is on your left.
Ở bên đây chạy qua
Mình
hay không tấm sách gì đó em lấy
bên đây
bên đó
bên
cái quẹo luôn
bên
chạy sách luôn.
The destination is on your left. 909 Locust Street. Arrived.
Sáng nay mưa và còn traffic cho mọi người nhiều kìa. Trời ơi, dễ sợ không? 7 giờ rưỡi sáng tắm nhẹ ở
quý vị đó, đây là cái location buổi sáng đây nè, và outside đó, cũng outside đó, mọi người standing đó, parking đó, thì có sự chiếc truck để ngày mai có lá cờ bự của mình đó. Sáng này chụp hình đưa rồi đó, show up. Hy vọng mọi người ở đây cũng rất là nhiệt tình chứ quý vị, chứ không phải đâu. Hopefully thì mọi chuyện nó sẽ cầu trời sao đừng có mưa nữa, để mà có một buổi thật là hoành tráng cho sáng hôm nay đó quý vị. Xa xa quý vị nhìn thấy không, sắp xếp cái sự sắp xếp bên trong đó chứ đó. Đó là một sự chào đón rất là hồng hạnh nha. Sáng này thôi, chiều này nữa thì ok. Bây giờ cái gì
You've entered the parking lot for your destination.
để còn chờ đợi tiếp đón tổng thống tới nha. Bên kia ở đây cũng còn nữa, đây cũng còn nữa. Double 7.
Arrived.
Yes. Wow.
không phải dày chứ nó đi anh.
Em cầm cái đó lên đây được mà. Đây là cái chỗ sáng này. Tổng thống sẽ đến đây nói chuyện với chị vào lúc 9 giờ. Thì mọi người đã chuẩn bị như vậy rồi. Good morning sir. Thì quý vị, tuyệt vời không? À, quá đẹp, quá tuyệt vời. Mọi người ở đây thì hồng hào hơn đó. Hello quý vị, chúng ta đã đến đây vào lúc 9 giờ, sẽ có một buổi ở đây nghe quý vị. Tổng thống sẽ đến đây. Chúng ta welcome him, okay? Welcome to President. See, the people already come here, stay around here. Go inside, outside, and check out. Let's go inside to see what's going on.
Right away, and then I think you missed the spot with all your bags.
Yes, sir.
You missed the spot. Right up there, you can put one right on. I'm just saying.
Yes, yes. 2024 here. We already have it. No problem.
Yeah, we're gonna have everybody go through security.
When's that gonna start?
They said about 8:30 or so.
Now come out and we have to come back again with a security check out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good for. Thank you. Thank you.
You look pretty today.
Yeah. I can't believe this. What they doing here? What do they want?
That's living history farm.
Oh, they have another out here too? This thing. Quý vị, còn vài phút nữa thôi là Tổng thống Trump sẽ đến đây quý vị. Và đây là cái site đường đi vào cái farm này cho Tổng thống. Và đây là cái nơi mà Tổng thống sẽ tập trung lại nha quý vị. Đó. Hello. Đây chúng ta sẽ dựng lên. Thì quý vị, nguyên một cái site được. Xong. Xin quý vị, mọi người đang kết like. Chút xíu nữa sẽ check in vô ở đây. Và đây là cái biểu tượng của farmer quý vị. Đó, một cái Eagle Moines. Đó, đây là đoạn đường sẽ chút xíu Tổng thống sẽ đi vô right here quý vị. See, Trump sign everywhere here now. Đó. Very good phải không quý vị? Đây là quang cảnh bên trong cái event của cái Machine quý vị. Chút xíu nữa Tổng thống sẽ có ở đây speak khoảng nửa tiếng hay tiếng đồng hồ gì đó. Và đây là quang cảnh bên trong này quý vị. Tất cả mọi người đang còn ready chuẩn bị để mà tiếp đón Tổng thống sẽ đến đây. Mọi người nào đang ready thì hãy chuẩn bị nhé. Thật là vinh hạnh quý vị. Mọi người đến đây rất là đông.
Happens to these people. And then you look at what they've done to the January 6th people. They've destroyed them and destroyed their lives. And a lot of them didn't even go into the building. It was a disgrace what's going on. That is a disgrace. That's going to go down in history ultimately. And Ashley Babbitt was killed, shot by, in my opinion, a rogue cop. He had no business doing that. He shot her unarmed. And actually, people say she was trying to hold back the people that were pushing her forward. Ashley Babbitt was the one that was killed. She was the one that was killed. And they like to say 5 people. That's the truth is. And there happened to be somebody else also in addition to Ashley. But Ashley Babbitt was a big supporter of everybody in this room. And by every account, she was an incredible person and a great patriot. And he shot her like, just like he had no problem. And then they wanted to shield him, right? They wanted to and he ends up on NBC, being interviewed on NBC because because he was so proud of himself. He thought he was a big shot. And they ought to look at his past record, by the way. Take a look at his past record.
And by the way, thank you for giving us Governor Kim Reynolds for governor of Iowa.
Good.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, without me, he was not going to win. You know that, right? I gave you a couple of them. Without me, they wouldn't have won. But I gave you some good people. You have some good people here. But as far as the time, it's a great question because I've been watching DeSantis go out and say, I've got 8 years. It's going to be 8 years. Let me tell you something. Right there, you should vote against it. It'll take me 6 months to have it totally the way it was. It's the wall, and it's getting criminals out of our country that have been allowed to come in so freely. We're going to get them out. ICE, we're going to double up on ICE and the Border Patrol. They're incredible people. Brandon Judd and Tom Holman and some people that we have are phenomenal people, but they don't use the good ones. They use very liberal, very radical left people, and it's hard to believe. You know, I did hundreds of miles of wall. Then I said, you know, we should do more. What do you think? And they gave me other locations. We were going to add another 200 miles to it. We started, would have been done within a few weeks. And the stuff was all there. They actually lifted it up and took it where Texas and Arizona can't get it. Can you believe it? Instead of saying, you guys put it up yourself, at least. But they didn't want it up. That's when I said, these guys actually believe in open borders. Who can believe in an open border? But when I heard DeSantis go out and say, and talk about 8 years, we need 8 years. You don't need 8 years, you need 6 months. We can turn this around so quickly.
Yes.
If you need 8 years, who the hell wants to wait 8 years?
Yeah.
Totally turned around. We'll be drilling and we'll be doing a lot of things. We'll be energy independent in 6 months. We'll be able to do that in 6 months. Don't forget, I filled up the national reserves. I did a lot of things at very cheap prices. Congress held me back, actually.
Yes.
So we had a deal where I was going to fill it up for nothing, you know, when the oil was down so low because we had so much of it. We have more liquid gold under our feet than Saudi Arabia and Russia. Think of it. We have more than any other country. We were going to double up on them. We were not only going to be dominant, we were going to be beyond dominant. We were going to be bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia ×2. We were going to make a fortune with energy. We were going to start paying off debt and further reducing taxes. It was so beautiful. It was working so great. And then they just shut it all down. So shame. But it's not 8 years, it's 6 months. And we'll be back in business, and sooner than that.
Thank you,
back
President.
in business, and those tractors are going to be spending a lot less money for their energy. And the food prices are going to start coming down. And a lot of things are going to start coming down. And it'll be a beautiful thing to watch. It's going to happen very quickly. And I'm very experienced now, you know, it's not like I'm going in and say, oh, this is a nice office, is this the Oval Office? It takes you about a year to sort of say, can you believe this? This is the Oval Office.
Thank you, President.
We're going to do it very quickly.
Very
And,
good.
I think within 6 months, you're going to see a major part of the comeback. Not 8 years.
No.
He'll stop saying that,
Yes.
watch. He's going to stop saying that. 'Cause if he needs 8 years to turn it around, he's saying, well, I'm going to, you know, I could be, okay. I'll go 4 years. And if I do a great job, we're going to have a great Republican, somebody.
You have
It's gonna go
Yes.
another 4 years or 8 years, so it doesn't make any difference. But when he says 8 years, every time I hear it, I wince because they say, if it takes 8 years to turn this around, then you don't want him. You don't want him as your president. You ought to go to
Right.
the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth guys, but they're usually polling at about 1%.
Sir, you're hired.
Okay, thanks.
I assume you'll have a different running mate this time. Would Governor Reynolds be someone you would consider?
I have a lot of people that I consider. We have some great people. We're gonna have, whoever it is, it'll be somebody who will be terrific.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of great people. We have incredible people in the Republican Party.
When I attend events around Iowa and with other candidates, one thing I hear a lot from people who are still waiting to decide are, I really like what President Trump was able to accomplish during his tenure, but I don't necessarily like all the drama. It'll be a word they'll use, for example, sometimes. What would be your message to those voters who are maybe considering someone else this time?
Without the drama, we wouldn't get elected. And without the drama, I wouldn't make it as successful. I mean, we had a lot of drama with China, but they knew they weren't going to mess around with us. We had a lot of drama with Putin and Russia, but nobody was ever tougher on Russia, and they would have never gone in as an example into in Ukraine. So without a lot of that, a lot of what you see, look at what we did with President Xi, look at what we did with Kim Jong-un, with the nuclear. That was a big threat when we first came in, and it wasn't a threat at all later on. So, there was drama, but sometimes you need drama in order to get the job done.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
After you get into office, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, the first thing is going to be close up the border and get a lot of people out, and we're going to start drilling immediately. We're going to be, I would say, drill and close up the border. Very important. Good question, too.
You talked about
And then bring our military back, because we don't have ammunition. We have no ammunition. We're at the lowest stage we've ever been, because we're giving our ammunition away to other locations. And we are a country without ammunition. Can you believe it? So we're going to have to do a lot of things rebuilding that. We were stocked to the gills with ammunition and all brand new beautiful equipment. And now we're going to have to start bringing some of that back.
You mentioned Ukraine and Russia. What would you differently if you were able to return to office regarding what's going on there?
I'd have Ukraine done in 24 hours. I would have a deal done.
How would you
It
be able to do
cries out a semi-complicated process, but I know both of them. I would have a deal done very quickly. It has to stop. That war has to stop.
And I wanted to ask if you want to address the report that came out yesterday about you talking about a document that was from General Miller.
Not only fake news, it's fake news, and it's just a continuation of the witch hunt. Just a continuation of this terrible witch hunt that's been going on for literally 7 years.
And when you come to Iowa, obviously we talk about the evangelical voters a lot and the way they turn out in these kinds of elections. What's your message to those voters in this primary with so many other candidates in the race?
Well, I think the same message you just heard. I can't do it again. I'm not going to do it again. But the message you just heard, I think, is what we have. And the good question that was asked about, what would you first do? Would be drilling and closing up the border and getting criminals out of our country. We're going to get them out fast. Because we have many criminals in our country. It's not sustainable. What they've done to our country is not sustainable.
Did I hear you advocating for the death penalty for drug dealers?
Yeah, I would. If the country were ready for it, the country should be ready for it. If you want to stop drugs from coming in, you do that. Every country that has that, I know a lot of people don't like that, and it doesn't sound very nice, but that will stop your drug problem almost instantaneously. Nothing else will. You can set up all the blue ribbon committees, put these two people on the blue ribbon committee, and it's not going to have too much of an impact. So that's what they have. Blue ribbon committees all over the place. If you want to stop it, the only way that's been successful is the death penalty for drug dealers. You'll stop it quickly. Okay? Thank you very much. Great honor.
He have pen? No, he have pen. He have
Oh,
pen.
thank you.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
The pen.
Hey, that's okay.
Let me work on my hand while I'm giving
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Walt, sir, give me something for my hand so I can
Thank you. So, Japan. Take the pen.
Have a little soda or towel, they'll get it for you.
You got me.
Stay there.
Really?
Say you marked up the president.
That's the worst.
You're the best president.
That's the worst. No, just give me some soap. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not as bad.
Come back that way. Yeah.
Just the yeah.
Put that back.
What is it? We have about, give me another one. We have 85% of it Secret Service.
President Kim and I started this company 45 years ago. Finished law school 2 months later, opened a restaurant in the company.
Good.
Wow. We are as wow. I really appreciated how you fought for it. Because you understand?
Come out. See that here?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Đúng em còn lại sai luôn.
Airborne. Thank you.
We love Trump.
We love Trump!
We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump! We love Trump. 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 He have the truck right there. No, he have the truck right there. He already. The cover.
We love you.
Thank you.
God bless you, Trump.
Woo! Thank you. Wow. Yeah. Woo!
Trump 2024.
Yeah, block him down. Block him down.
No more down here. Donald Rhino. Donald Rhino. No Rhino, America, right? No Rhino for America. Yeah. America, no Rhino.
Trump 2024. Let's go. Woo! You're good. Blow down. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Hello. Cái này là điểm dừng thứ 3 này quý vị. Chiều hôm nay vào lúc 3 giờ rưỡi sẽ get in vô đây. Mình phải stand right here để get cái line. See, everybody come here to get up. Hello. People here early quý vị. Let's go. Đây là địa điểm thứ 3 của ngày quý vị. Arizona Avenue Center. Chiều hôm nay vào lúc 5 giờ chiều nay thì tổng thống sẽ đến đây có một buổi nói chuyện nữa. Và cái like của mọi người đang còn đứng thì bây giờ quý vị thấy hiện tại bây giờ là đã là 1 giờ rưỡi rồi nha quý vị. Đó, quý vị thấy cái like không? Bây giờ mọi người đang còn đứng dài xuống cái này là tại vì cái này là cái event này là nguyên một cái hall quý vị lớn, nó chứa khoảng 16.000 người thì nhưng mà hôm nay thì mọi người chỉ có đến đây là nhiêu đây thôi, còn tiếp tục get like nữa tại vì người ta nói tới 3 giờ rưỡi mới là hết in thì bây giờ mọi người vẫn còn đứng ở đây. Và người nào đăng ký và có đem theo ID nha, phải show ID thì mới được get inside. Hello quý vị. Bây giờ nãy giờ đứng bên ngoài rất là nóng thì sau lúc đứng bên ngoài chờ tới giờ này là 2 giờ rưỡi rồi quý vị thì bắt đầu được vô bên trong. Thì khu vực bên trong thì được như đây thôi quý vị. bao nhiêu ghế xếp như đây và mọi người sẽ tối nay là cái party như vậy đó. Cái này là do Fort Mill tổ chức quý vị, cho nên Kennedy Fort Mill tổ chức, cho nên mọi người đến đây là, và tối nay tổng thống sẽ giống như review đó quý vị, trả lời câu hỏi và nói chuyện thôi. Ta thấy được cái cảnh này. Dạ quý vị, sau lúc chờ đợi bao nhiêu tiếng đồng hồ thì bây giờ là được vô bên trong, và quý vị thấy đó, cái phạm vi bên trong này của Fort Mill Review. Tổng thống Trump tối hôm nay quý vị sẽ có những cái cuộc nói chuyện và sẽ có những cái câu trả lời như thế nào. Thì hồi sáng thì chúng em đã có livestream một khúc và quý vị cũng đã thấy rồi, thì tổng thống nói chuyện và trả lời như thế nào. Và hiện tại bây giờ thì đang còn ở trong một cái town hall tại Pentagon rất là lớn, và tổng thống chút xíu nữa sẽ ở đây và interview của chương trình Fort Mill interview nha quý vị. Thì chúng ta hãy lắng nghe và nghe cái vị tổng thống trả lời như thế nào, và những câu hỏi nó sẽ trả lời như thế nào, chúng ta sẽ cùng theo dõi. Ok quý vị, tiếp tục theo dõi nha, cuộc hành trình nhé. Hello quý vị, bây giờ là 3 giờ 45 phút rồi chiều, thì mọi người bắt đầu đến gần đông đủ hết, gần khu rồi đấy quý vị thấy không đó. Thì tất cả mọi người đến đây đông, và khoảng 5 giờ thì có tổng thống sẽ ra nói chuyện vào lúc 5 giờ chiều này quý vị. Wow. Thì thấy sao ạ? Đông không ạ?
He's at the Air Force Academy. He's taught me about that gun. Gosh. You ready to get our country back in shape?
Yeah! Woo!
I know a lot of you are in agriculture and farming. I have all these farmers call my radio show. We're on 725 stations now. Thank you all if you listen. And they tell me the price of fertilizer is 3 times what it used to be. The price of seed is twice what it used to be. And if you need to fix your equipment, if you can find the part, it's going to cost you 4 times what you used to pay. And that means you're down for that period of time. That's not the America that we knew just 2.5 years ago. That is not the America that we knew. And so, one of the things we want to do is, I know as a conservative, a proud conservative, I love everyone in the media, they say they're journalists. They're full of Adam Schiff, If you say it really fast, you really can't tell the difference. And you know what? They act like they're journalists. I watched that fake news CNN town hall of President Trump. My job here tonight is not to argue with the man that wants to be president.
Yes.
My job is to let you hear from the guy that wants to be president. Let you ask questions of the man that wants to once again be president. Does that sound the right way? Everyone want that? And, we'll ask questions about some of the controversies, but I don't know about a lot of you. I'm kind of sick of hearing about January 6th again and again. Especially because they had more 574 riots.
So you can go with that.
Here's more up there.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yes! Oh! Good. Go over
So cute.
Woo!
By 7 points over Joe Biden. The vast majority of Americans, including Democrats, they're not happy with Joe Biden. I don't think many Americans are happy with Joe Biden, to say the least. And based on recent polls, voters believe that Biden is corrupt, incompetent, creepy, both mentally, physically, cognitively unfit to serve. By the way, today is no exception. At the Air Force Academy, Biden could not remember the word pilot or fighter pilot. Take a look.
By the way, I met with those guys that fly over Sherman. 3 of them are women.
Oh.
Don't screw around, guys.
All right, not much more from there. By the way, we will warn you, this is not hard to watch. But following those remarks, Biden fell flat on his face and took another tumble and fall. Take a look.
Oh. He fell?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Oh.
Mr. President, thank you for joining us today.
We all hope the president is okay, but there needs to be a serious discussion in this country about his physical fitness, his mental acumen, his ability to serve. The presidency is the toughest job on earth. It requires, a tough, capable leader. You might recall 2024, and we talked about this in past election years, the American people, they will now have a critical opportunity to right the ship that begins right here in the great state of Iowa. Let's get a warm.
Yeah! Trump! Trump! Woo! Yes! Woo! Yes! Woo! That's right!
It was raining cats and dogs today. Beautiful, the rain is beautiful. We've lived in London, Ireland, I love Ireland. We won both times by a lot. We're very happy. Current president. Did you see the video of when he fell? And did you see the video? He actually said, by the way, I met with, who are those guys that are going to fly over shortly? Yeah, that's your president. It's sad. It's not sad. They're representing, we are all representing the country. You've become president, and you're sort of not allowed to do that, but it's happened. It's happened, and it's happened pretty badly. We won't go into it, but we all know the ones, and they count those acts, you know, they never forget. But that was a bad fall. You know, I remember the meeting made so much. I think you were at West Point. Yeah. And you were coming down the ramp, it didn't have a rail, you had dress shoes on the which have very slippery soles. They look a little better, but you better not walk around this especially down there on the ramp. You know, it was very interesting. I think I made my best speech, and that was my best speech. And I was so proud of it. It was full. That's how bad I think it's gotten for him. Why are you reluctant to call? Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I actually called Sean, and I asked Sean not to joke about it. I was joking. Because he used to joke about it. And I said, honestly, I don't think it looks good for you or for anybody. You to joke about it because it's a serious matter. I was talking about sippy cup of warm milk tea at night. So I said, I just don't think it's good for anybody, and you know, it's not appropriate. You can speak about it if you want, but I don't think you should joke about it, and you really didn't, I think. Well, now I realize how serious it is. I mean, especially when we get into foreign policy, and you know, with China, Russia, and Iran forming, I'm calling it a new axis of people. I'm very, very concerned that he's advocating our role on the world stage. Let me say, I do say this, I think it's the most serious time and the most dangerous time right now in the history of our country. We have nuclear weapons on lots of different areas. We have Russia, we have North Korea, we have Iran is going to still have one that should have never happened. I had that set up, we would have made that deal within a week after the election, and they would have never had a nuclear weapon. But nobody picked it up because they terminated the Iran nuclear deal. But this is the most dangerous time in the history of our country because of the power of the weaponry. And we have somebody that doesn't understand what's happening. And it's a very dangerous thing. It's a very bad thing. With some really bad things. If you would see, and I got to see it, if you would see the power of what we're talking about, this isn't army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. This is something that's a whole different place. This is annihilation of the world, literally. The power is so horrible. And I was actually working on something with Putin where we start getting rid of nuclear weapons. It's just too powerful. And you know, all of a sudden people are talking about nuclear weapons all the time. I wouldn't let people talk about it. I had somebody, people that we have liquid gold because it's gold, it's better than gold. We have liquid gold under our feet more than any other nation, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. We're energy independent. Within 6 months, we would have been energy dominant. And we were going to sell energy to Europe and lots of other places. But we were going to make so much money doing it. 2016, I don't talk about it because this is tough. So I'm not allowed to talk about it. Of course, you said that about somebody else. You can't control yourself. You really can't. You can't. So I was, but we had, tremendous. We got millions and millions more votes than we had the first time. Somebody said, "Oh, you did so great in 2016." I said, "We did much better in 2020." But we're going to swamp them this time. The way you beat is just swamp them because they can't do anything. That's what's going to happen. Let me disagree with you one time. I pointed out, I ended up reporting for 3 years that the Russia hoax was a hoax. Yeah. My reporting ended up being right, and it even got further. We now know from the Durham report that the FBI had no evidence at all whatsoever, even after offering Christopher Steele over $1 million to verify
Okay, that became the basis of the FISA warrant. They still put their cinder blocks in the scale. I'll give you another example. 2020, we now know that the FBI had the Hunter Biden laptop in December of 2019. They verified it according to John Solomon in the spring of 2020. Well, then why were FBI agents pre-bunking the Hunter Biden laptop story in the weeks leading up to the 2020 election, which ended up in the censorship of what was a real story? You say, I don't talk about it. I talk about all of that. I talk about laws not being followed, like partisan observers couldn't observe. There are a lot of issues of integrity with our elections that we should talk about.
When you look at the Russia vote, and then they get the Pulitzer Prize for writing on Russia and everything else is just the opposite. John Solomon, you, a lot of good people.
We got it right.
Greg Jarrett, I mean, what he did was incredible, but a lot of good people got it right. They got nothing. The people, they got it totally wrong. The exact opposite. Russia. Oh, it's the Ukraine. Shit. Thank you. I appreciate it. I call it Russia. Ukraine. Impeachment number 1, impeachment number 2, over a perfect phone call. The whole thing is crazy. And we're straightening it out. But I had a nice, easy life before this. I had a nice, easy life. But I did it because we were going to make this country great again. We had it.
Woo!
Those are the real issues that impact people's lives. There are other issues I'll ask about, but I want to start with what matters. Bread and butter issues, peace and prosperity, and
don't use that term, please, but they're from the same asylum. I was telling them a story. I read something about 3 weeks ago. A psychiatrist who works in a mental institution in South America, someplace in South America. And he was always a worker. He said, I was always so busy, I'd work 20 hours. Good man, work 20 hours a day. Now I don't, because the people in this institution have largely been let go into America, into the United States of America, a mental institution. The prisons are being emptied all over the world, not just the 4 countries that we always talk about that are close to us, including Mexico. All over the world, prisons are being emptied out into our country. And what you're asking is, why is that being done? Who can think that that's good? It's horrible for our country. And there's only 2 reasons. They're stupid, which I don't think they are, because anybody that can cheat like that in elections is not stupid. They're either stupid or they hate our country. They hate our country. I think it has to be. Because, and why wouldn't they want voter ID? Why is it that the Democrats always, and it's the leadership, the Democrats, the people, they really want it. I think it's 88% want voter ID, but the leadership, the people in the Senate, people in the House, they don't want voter ID. There's only one reason you don't want voter ID, because you're going to cheat on country.
Woo!
Signature verification, chain of custody control, updated voter rolls, and partisan observers in every precinct get to watch the vote be taking place in the vote counting. I would prefer, like you, paper ballots, but that's not the system that's going to take place in 2024. So here's my question.
That's secure system, paper ballots.
Like Fetterman and Katie Hobbs and Joe Biden. They run hundreds.
If everybody was legitimate and everything was done, it wouldn't matter whether they waited till Tuesday or whether they did it early. But people are going in to vote and they're saying, I'm sorry, you've already voted. They say, no, on Tuesday they're going to vote because the Republicans do like to vote. They like to actually go and vote. For whatever reason, they like that and the others send them in, right? They send them in, but they get there, and this has happened hundreds of thousands of times. A woman goes in to vote, she's so proud, she's so happy, she's all dressed up, she's going to go Republican. And they say, I'm sorry, man, you've already voted. And somebody voted for them. This is what's happening. Our elections are really corrupt and horrible. And this is hundreds of thousands of people.
I do think that the Republicans need to match the Democrats at best. I think Republicans, if they don't embrace early voting by mail, and legal ballot harvesting, like the Democrats, they put themselves at a decided disadvantage. That's my take. All right,
I mean, a terrible thing happened, as you know, a terrible thing happened in Arizona.
Yes.
You know, we have very good candidates, we all know that, and she's doing right. We have lines that were like 2 miles long, and in the Republican territories, the machines didn't work, so they were waiting. And she's really worked hard, so hard. And who would have thought that? So many of the machines, a huge percentage, like more than 50% of the machines didn't work. And the judges don't want to do anything about it. And the one that our candidate is horrific was fighting against, which you mentioned her name before, Katie Hobbs. And she was in charge of the election. And when the Democrats voted, there was no machine broken. When the Republicans, like large numbers, like more than 50% of the machines didn't work. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing what's going on.
Let me focus on the issues that I think are broader issues that impact everybody. I want to know.
We love Trump! 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 Woo!
Went over time 12 minutes. So, by the way, do you think Joe Biden can talk that long?
Sleepy Joe!
And of course, the former president has a commanding lead in both Iowa and nationally. We expect that former Vice President Mike Pence will be in. Let's talk about, well, let's look at 9 people up against 2.
That's a good thing, isn't it? But I don't think it matters. I don't know why people are doing it. They're 1%, some are at 0. I hear Chris Christie's coming in. He was at 6% in New Jersey, which is, I love New Jersey, but 6% approval rating in New Jersey. What's the purpose? And he's polling at 0. And I was, I call him ADA Hutchinson. I don't call him ACE. I call him ADA Hutchinson. For certain reasons. But this guy, nobody knows who the hell he is. Never good. And so, you know, it's fine, but I don't understand what they're doing. Now, maybe there's something wrong, but when you're 1% or less, you know, 1%, it says 1% with an arrow pointing up. There's one guy who's at 0.
People know that I've interviewed you all these years. I've known you almost 30 years. And people ask me, they say to me, why does he have to fight so hard? Why doesn't he pick his fights a little more? Why does he have to call people names? And the only reason I think this is an important question is because at least I think everyone here tonight is like to vote for you, right? It's not for those people that maybe are in the middle a little more, and the argument that they make to me is, if you would just tone it down here, stop a little name. That it might help you with swing voters that are needed to you to get over the finish line. It's already hard enough electoral vote-wise for a Republican to win. What do you say to that?
Okay, you ready? And I say this to everybody. A winning election is unprecedented. We meet somebody that supposedly had it made, and they probably did things in that election to their shot. But I came into office, and from the day I got in, I was under siege by people that were written in Washington for many years, put in there by many different presidents. In most cases, people that were against me, like, they started my campaign. They did all sorts of things. I was under investigation and under siege, and so were my people. And if I wasn't tough, I would be here right now. I guarantee you that. We had an Attorney General, Bill Barr, who didn't have the courage to fight. He just didn't have the courage. He was a nice man, but he didn't have the courage. He lost his courage when they wanted to impeach him. They said they were going to impeach Bill Barr. They didn't even know why. There was no reason to impeach him. He didn't do anything wrong. But he didn't have the courage. We need courage in this country, but we're going to lose that country.
All right, Mike, is it? Mike. Hey, Mike, you have a question for President Trump?
I like that, by the way. I think I'm going to like this question. Look at that.
I'm
Look at
going
that
to
shit.
say yes.
Thank you.
He's making money off your name, just so you know.
Okay, I'm not going to sue.
My question is, from the time that you left office until now, and in fact, in my case, it happened very quickly. I am a veteran. I used the VA. I was getting in to see a doctor 2-3 weeks. From the time you left, and this is within a month, the next time was 8 months.
Are you talking about the VA?
I am.
So we had a 92% approval rating. No company's ever come close. I think the highest was 51, and it was many years ago. We had a 92% with the VA. And I did two things that were really, we had great people at the top. We had a lot of great people. You know, we talked about the bad ones, but we had a lot of great people, and they did a fantastic job. When you get a 92% rating, and I really appreciate that you say what happened with the VA is they had a lot of very bad people in the VA statists, very sick people that were really, they were beating up and hurting our people, and you couldn't do anything about it. And I got through Congress an act where we can fire those people. We got rid of 7,000 really bad people. But the other thing, and people are important, maybe know them, if you had to wait, like you said you had to wait, under my system, if you had to wait more than a day, as you know, you would go to a private hospital, you would go to a private doctor, and they would take care of you. And people weren't dying. You know, people were dying waiting online. They were waiting for 6 months. They became terminally ill for something where a simple procedure or a simple prescription could have taken care of it. And if they had to wait for more than 24 hours, I gave them the right to go to a private doctor. We paid the bill. We negotiated with them. We had certain set prices because otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be good. And we had the highest rating. That's why the veterans love Trump. We did a great job. It's so nice to be.
Tony, retired USAC Lieutenant Colonel, volunteer for a number of senior organizations, to include AARP, full disclosure. High inflation. We have a Medicare system that is severely lacking funding, running out of funding. We have a trust fund in Social Security that's going broke. Across Iowa, serious concerns for seniors. What's your envision? What can you do? How can we solve these problems and get them done?
So Iowa and all of you all over the country, that's all the time we have left this evening. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you!
We're going to get started right away. Y'all ready to roll? President from Venezuela includes Donald Trump. The great state of Iowa, President Trump is here to stay Hey, John, how are you? Right here in class. Yeah.
Mr. President, how are you going to hold the three-letter agencies accountable? Or do away with them completely? These people did not elect these agencies and they have too much power. How do you restore power to the people?
So these are agencies that have been manned or womened by people appointed by different presidents over the years, and they really feel they rule the country. And the way you do it is by putting very good people at the top. We had some great people. We don't talk about the great people. We had some great people at the top. They talk about the ones that don't do as good a job, and I was quick to fire people. If I didn't think people did a good job, even in the military, I fired people quickly. You know, we took down ISIS. We got 100% of the ISIS caliphate. I was told it was going to take years to get knowledge that discriminates against anybody. You know, we can say that. And it really started to get but as soon as I was gone, that was ended. We'll put that back on the first step.
Mr. President, are you going to go back to Twitter? Mr. President, are you going to go back to Twitter? Hey, Mr. President, are you going to go back to Twitter?
Happy birthday early! Happy early birthday!
No one step behind his black line.
Pretty cool shit. That was cool. That was cool.
That was really cool.
So cool. He acknowledged me.
That's fine.
I tried some steak and pop. I worked on that. That was actually one of my favorite jobs.
Folks, back up, man, back up.
44th story.
Sir? Sir?
Thank you, President. Thank you. Thank you, President.
Mr. President? Mr. President? Mr. President?
Love you. Love you.
Sir?
Yep.
Can you give this to Mr. President?
The check.
Try to give him a check.
It's a check for donation.
You have to ask
Thank you. Trời ơi Tạc nè. Sau cái ngày nè. Hả?
Có một vị tổng thống nào mà nói chuyện mà shit. Never get the best cool speaker for 2 hours and a half. You know, 2 hours and a half. Yeah.
And
You know.
answer all the question.
Yeah.
It
And
mean
no
no paper.
No paper, no everything.
Wow.
He remember everything and he
Very
talk
good.
very strong. Thank you, President, and we love you.
All right. You go. Bây giờ là một ngày quá trời luôn cái gì.
4 chỗ á quý vị.
4 chỗ một ngày mà chạy dễ sợ luôn.
Không, một ngày ba
chỗ,
hôm qua một chỗ là 4 đời đó.
Quá tuyệt vời luôn.
Tổng thống dừng lại. Ngày tuyệt vời quá. Mong rằng là sẽ còn những người yêu nước như vậy nữa để ủng hộ cho tổng thống Trump. Mình mới thấy là người dân ở đây, nhất là những người lớn tuổi, em đứng rất nhiều người lớn tuổi và phải nói là họ rất yêu quý tổng thống Trump và họ nói họ sẵn sàng khi ông đã trở lại thì họ sẽ phone cho tổng thống.
Không, nhưng mà cùng
Vậy quá rồi, nhưng mà vậy cả ngày luôn quý vị. Wow.
Tạm biệt quý vị. Tạm biệt khách sạn. Đến rồi đi. Bây giờ mới có 2:30 sáng thôi. Mà phải ra sân bay rồi, tại vì chuyến bay sớm. Giờ lúc 5:30 sáng. Giờ phải ra thôi. Ok. Đến rồi đi. Hẹn quý vị dịp sau. Tiếp tục một chuyến hành trình mới. Còn bây giờ là Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home. Là khách sạn. Bye bye. Bye, Hilton. Đây là đi đến phòng breakfast. Giờ này mọi người ngủ rồi. Khách sạn giờ này là 2:30 sáng, vắng tanh. Tạm biệt chim én chưa? Đến lại đi. Sẽ vẫn đợi tôi chiếc chân lâu trên đây. Đây là khách sạn Hilton nha quý vị. Còn hiện tại đây là ngay downtown của Iowa, downtown của Moines. Alright. Bye. Sân bay vẫn tăng quý vị. Đến sân bay vào lúc 3 giờ rưỡi sáng. 3 giờ chứ. Mở cửa tới là gần 4 giờ mới mở cửa cho vô. C4 right here. Bay on time. Đây là em, C4. Em. On time. Đi đến nơi về trên chốt nha. Thật độ bình an. There you go. Let's go. Flip up. Cái trường tấp nập luôn, máy bay liên tục. Kẻ đến người đi. Còn có 20 phút thôi để chuyển máy bay mới kịp đến.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help us keep this aircraft cool as you wait to exit. Please ensure that those air vents above you are open and the window shades closed. Thank you.
Đến sớm 7 phút mà cũng biết bị trễ. Trễ chuyến kế tiếp đến đây. Thank you very much. Tranh thủ chạy qua cả để chuyến bay kế tiếp. Ngoài ra run. Đây là sân bay Atlanta nha. Atlanta, từ Atlanta về tới Florida 7 tiếng đồng hồ lấy xe. Để như là đang bước xe chạy luôn á.
Due to construction, the baggage claim ground transportation station elevators are out of service. The station is still open. However, if you need an elevator and access to baggage claim ground transportation, please exit at T gates.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit. The next stop is for T gates.
Welcome to Atlanta. 2484. Lấy một cái là ra lái xe về luôn.
Good morning. Passengers held in Delta flight 2670 going to Philadelphia. My name is Beth, but I'll be the agent today. The flight departs at 9:50 and arrives at 9:50. That is 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Lift the top of the buckle. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply.
Wi-Fi.com network to get started. We invite you to enjoy our complimentary entertainment and service offerings today. We're pleased to offer water, coffee, tea, and complimentary snacks along with beer, wine, for our Delta Comfort Plus customers. Please note that federal regulations prohibit consuming any alcohol you might have brought aboard with you. If there's anything else we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. We are landing, so please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt, please.
Home sweet home, please. Home sweet home, Orlando.
That's okay. It's okay. Well, I know because I had it down and I picked it up and I was like, he's like, get it there. I'm like, yeah. You're like the next row. I can't. Oh, yeah. So everybody always asks. It's like, it's not important. So we did good versus we go on. Water. I know. Always looking for some.
Oh, I did get food. Yeah. Someone told me when I moved there, there's two seasons. There's snow in July. And I kind of believe them because it snowed all the way up until May. And I heard all art. A lot of good salt is there too.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're home. Đến rồi đi. Đi rồi về. Okay. Về đến Florida rồi quý vị. Hospital. Oh my god. 3 ngày. Bốn năm sáu. Hiện tại bây giờ là mấy giờ rồi? Chờ và ra khỏi hết cái bay không, hết nửa tiếng không quý vị. 11 giờ Wow. Về đến đây là 11 giờ trưa. Đây là khu vực trung tâm terminal. Tất cả các gây tập trung ở đây, từ gây 70 cho tới 90, từ 70 cho tới 99. Và bây giờ đi ra sơ đồ quý vị.
Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. If you're a resident, hold on. I want to welcome you. If you're visiting our community, welcome to the city. We want to assure you your health and well-being is our top priority, not only in our world-class theme parks and attractions, but all of our accommodations, our restaurants, our retail establishments, and of course our arts and culture. We're glad that you are here and we hope that you enjoy Orlando experience.
Please hold on to the handrails. The shuttle is approaching the main terminal building. When the shuttle stops, please exit and follow the signs to baggage claim.
Giờ ra là đi lấy xe xong rồi chạy từ đây về nhà thêm 1 tiếng đồng hồ. Đó là cuộc hành trình cho 3 ngày, từ tháng 5 tháng 6, và đã gặp mặt Tổng thống Trump được 3 lần liên tiếp luôn quý vị. Quá tuyệt vời. Và ngày hôm qua là một ngày tuyệt vời nhất, được trò chuyện trong tổng thống luôn chứ. Bây giờ chứ quá tuyệt vời lắm quý vị. Orlando. Sân bay Orlando.
Oh God, I hope Rudy was able to.
Level 1. Đây là khu vực thư viện từ 36 cho tới 39 là chuyên môn phải dành cho pick-up mình nữa. Để đi ra lại về lại chỗ mà mình gửi xe đó quý vị. Up and go. Tiếp. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.